Good morning, everyone. This is the first time I'm going live on YouTube. I'm doing a get ready with me before I head to the rink. It is really early, but I just wanted to give this a try because I'm going to try to do more of these, and they'll be geared towards off-ice warm-ups, lessons on the ice. But for now, as you guys know, for those of you who follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, I love my skincare routine in the morning. So it's so important for me to start out my day with my skincare. This is snail mucin, and I love it so much. I ran out of it. And of course, I gotta hydrate. Good morning. Since I was talking to nobody before, and now a few of you have come in, I was saying that I am experimenting with YouTube Live because I want to connect with you guys on an easier level. I know a lot of you follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, and those are the two main platforms that I use. And you've been loving my Coachmas series. If you guys haven't seen that, you guys can go and take a look at my TikTok, and there's a playlist that has all these. I have like 20 videos that I shared, tips and tricks for specific skating moves. I've been watching you since 2020, and now I'm really good at ice skating. Oh my gosh, congrats, Livy. I love it. I love hearing your guys' success stories, and I want to continue supporting you. So, what I'm experimenting with is with YouTube Live. Maybe let me just try to turn this. Oh, oriented is locked. Rotate device back. Okay. I will rotate. Oh no. Okay. Maybe I need to start out doing it the other way later. But I'm going to do off-ice warm-ups. I'll do some after skating stretches. I'll take you through skating lessons. So I want to be a lot more engaged with my YouTube community. And it'll just be so much fun, and I love the fact that YouTube has offered this live ability. So yeah, I am excited. Let me know in the comment section below what your New Year's goals are. A lot of skaters start the new year with ambition, and they're really eager to get their programs choreographed and to start fresh. The hard thing about skating is that you're constantly going nonstop. It's literally a full year-round sport. People think it's winter specific. Actually, competitions and all that jazz are geared towards the summer and fall. And then nationals is in January. So it's year-round. There's an off season for certain skaters who have completed their competition season, but you're training year round. Hi, Helmy. I have a diffuser here, by the way. Livy's asking about any tips to be more flexible for skating. So I've shared my Stretch with Michelle series on YouTube, so you guys can follow that. A lot of you shared that it's too fast paced, and I basically during the pandemic I created these videos, and I had to upload them all in the timeline that I created, which was 1 month. And so I filmed, edited, uploaded, captioned everything in one day. And so it was like a content creation boot camp for me. But if you uploaded anything above 20 minutes, it would take forever. Like you basically would never be able to upload the video. So I fast forwarded a lot of my movements. So that's what people are talking about when it's like too fast paced. So you can totally sign up for CMA Stretch Edition. And sign up for CMA Stretch Edition. And once you log into coachmichelleacademy.thinkific.com, you'll be able to access a free preview. So it'd be so awesome for you guys to give it a shot. And then if you enjoy it, you can totally sign up. And it's a year-long program. And it is something that has totally helped transform many skaters' lives. And for me personally, I'm going to share more of my tips and tricks on how to get more flexible, because I think some people want more bite-sized content. But yeah, I'm going to sneeze. I'm not going to sneeze. Okay, Ellie is asking why, maybe I think you're saying, why did you start skating? So I started skating because of my sister. So my sister Melissa was the one that got me involved with the sport. She got a coupon from her school that offered free public session. And that's such a great idea. Like for any rinks that are trying to get more people involved with the sport, they should totally connect with schools. That's where kids thrive and they want to try new things. And she got that free pass, so then she begged my parents to go, and then I was at the perfect age. I was around like 6 years old, and so that was a perfect opportunity for my mom to also include me into the public session. Then my sister begged for lessons, and so then we signed up for learn to skate classes and all that jazz. So it snowballed. It snowballed into me wanting to do everything that my sister wanted to do. So if she wanted to get new skates, I got new skates. If she wanted to do a performance, I did a performance. And being able to have that role model when I grew up, a built-in role model, was amazing. And my sister is so amazing, so talented. She helped choreograph a handful of my programs growing up. She passed all of her moves in the field test within 2 years. And she just gravitated towards the sport. But the unfortunate thing about my sister is that she didn't fit the mold of what a competitive athlete or competitive skater should look like, and she wasn't at the right age. She started around 12 years old, and she caught up with people who started when they were 3 or 4, you know? And I think that that is the driving force behind everything that I do now, is that I want you guys to be able to enjoy the sport regardless of what age you start, your body, your background. And that's why I'm trying to, expand more with Coach Michelle Academy. If you guys haven't checked it out, Coach Michelle Academy has its own Instagram page, which I'm so happy about. It's crazy because I started it last year in August, and there's over 11,000 of you who follow that. And then my Coach Michelle Hong platform, I've shared a lot more personal things that I love. A lot of you kept up with my wedding. A lot of you love my skincare routine. I've shared and openly about my eczema. I've dealt with eczema not my whole entire life, but a big part of my adulthood. And it would come and go as a college student, especially during times of stress. So it's very stress induced. Ellie is asking, do you have any tips on how to go back to skating after injury and rested for a few months? Oh yeah, that's a really good question. So what happened with me when I was I think 14 years old. I was in the novice level. Or I was leaving the intermediate level going into novice. Oh my goodness, I need to drink water. In the meantime, put in the comments where you're from. I want to hear where you guys are from, maybe what level you're skating, or what your goals are for the new year. Wow, from the Philippines. I love it. Dancing Ice Princess. So anyways, I was talking about my injury, and so going into my novice year, I'm pretty sure it was May, and I was doing off fight, or first initially my sisters came to see me practice, and I was already so exhausted and tired, but then they wanted to see my double axel, and I was listening to my body. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm really tired right now, especially after school. And if I've already trained for that whole session, and also at the end of the day, like, you guys know this, certain jumps get you. So double axel was one of those jumps that I got when I was 12 or 13. And it was a big deal. Everybody who got their double axel around 12 or 13, like, you know you're successful. You know that you're gonna be XYZ. But there's a lot of mental blocks that comes with that jump. And I definitely dealt with that. And so I think I just didn't want to go into a spiral of mental blocks. So I was like, you know, I'm not gonna do my double axel. I got off the ice, and I think I felt guilty for not sharing or showing my sisters my jump when they came to watch me. And then so I was like, let me do them off ice. And I did it out of like anger. I was doing it out of throwing a temper tantrum in a sense. And I'm totally open to talk about this stuff because I literally see it happening with young athletes these days. Young athletes are utilizing their emotions to negatively reinforce bad technique, to hurt themselves. It's crazy, the amount of pressure and the lack of resources for emotional regulation in this sport. So that's a big deal for me as a coach to instill a different path for my students. Anyways, going back to when I was doing double axels at that age on the ground, I like was throwing myself into it, and I was like, see, like, I could show you that I'm doing it, like, since I'm making up for not doing it on the ice. And then I landed wrong, and it was bad. I heard something, and it wasn't good. So we went to the hospital. The x-ray didn't show any break, so I went back home, blah, blah, blah. Lo and behold, I had a growth plate fracture. Luckily enough, my mom is a medical interpreter at a hospital, and so she knew that, like, I needed support, so she got a boot cast from her work, and I used that, but I definitely should have been in a cast. So my ankle didn't properly heal, and I got back on the ice maybe in 6 months, May, June, July, August. So, well, maybe it wasn't May, maybe it was earlier than that. I was out minimum 3 months, if not, it felt longer. But I ended up competing that year still at regionals, and then I became the regional champion. Was it easy? No. When I got back on the ice, I literally had no muscle in my calf of the ankle that I hurt. It was my landing ankle, so my right ankle. No more muscle in that calf because it was in a cast. or a boot cast, so not a real cast, I still put pressure on it. So one of the main suggestions that I have is like, you all need to fully heal. Whatever you need to do, fully heal. That is very, very important for athletes, for people who are starting skating, people who are just doing things for fun, anything related to fitness. It's crazy because we want to push our bodies to its max capacity, but we don't understand that we're hurting ourselves in the long run. So I've had a lot of long-term chronic injuries because of that, not taking more time during the necessary time period, or not having the right tools, right? Like I think at that time, because I went to urgent care or emergency, all they did was x-rays. So I should have taken it a step further, or my family should have taken it a step further to go get an MRI so that we could finally see that, what's it called? That growth plate fracture. Sorry, I was also reading some comments. One of my favorite skaters, I feel like her doctors didn't help her properly heal from injury. How can you get the right medical advice for an athlete? You have to advocate it for yourself. That's exactly what I just said. I was like, my family, right? My parents, they could have asked for MRI in addition to that. I know that now because my sister is a podiatrist, and I actually wanted to be a podiatrist too because I had a podiatrist look at my injuries. And my parents are Cambodian refugees, and for them, we're thinking about resources, efficiency. You don't know what you don't know. So the doctor said it wasn't a break, boom, that's it, right? I think for me, this is the first time I'm experiencing anything, so I'm like, and I'm so hypermobile and I want to do things all the time, so I was like, I got a boot cast that I could still walk around in. And I think it was the best of both worlds for me because I didn't have to have a full-on cast, because then I think the crutches would have hurt. And so that's another thing too, like kids cannot be the dictator of everything. Like kids push themselves way beyond their appropriate measures. So my recommendation, Heather, is the coach. That's really important. So me as a coach, parents as parents, are the accountability measure for the athlete. I've seen it in other sports too. In football, my friend is a football player, or a former football player. He played for Cal. And Cal did not treat their athletes the way they should have been treated. They are worrying about the bottom line. They care about, okay, when are we going to get that touchdown? And people have deteriorating disc. I'm pretty sure they just, band-aid things up with steroids, and the appropriate steroids. These aren't the steroids that are illegal for sports. These are like steroids to relieve pain for certain things. So that's actually one of the things that I'm passionate about. There's a reason why my mission with Coach Michelle Academy is to empower happy, healthy, holistic skaters. It's all this information that we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so, yeah, that's a very good question. And I don't think I answered the question about the injury thing. So coming back from injury, I want you to really, really go slowly. What does that mean? You don't need to jump the first day. You don't need to think that you have to get back to where you were when you left. I started out like a little baby. I literally put my skates back on and I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so foreign. And I was waddling because my right leg had no muscle at all. And I felt so weak. And I think you just have to be okay with that. I am weak at this moment in time, but I'm going to get better. And so I share that I was regional champion at the end of that season. I think I only competed at sectionals. I only competed at regionals and sectionals. Usually you have 4 to 5 competitions that you got to utilize to prep you for regionals. Maybe I had one competition beforehand. I don't fully remember. But I had very, very little time to prep for regionals. And that actually probably helped. I think I gave myself lower expectation. And lower expectations help you just go into things with more flow and more fun, as opposed to, oh my gosh, this is so important. If I don't make it, then I'm a loser. And then da-da-da-da-da. Skaters do that so often. Constantly putting pressure and absolute or very black and white. That's what I would say. Like super black and white conditions on themselves. So I'm all about setting goals. I want to encourage you guys to set your goals for the new year. My goal is to get on here more. I want to engage with you guys. I know YouTube is the place that so many of my followers found me, because 2020 was the year of the pandemic, and I buckled down, and since I was away from the rink, I was like, let me get on YouTube. This has been my dream. And to make your dreams come true, it's a lot of hard work. And to be honest with you guys, I got burnt out. A lot of people are like, where are you? Why aren't you on YouTube anymore? Oh my gosh, to be a YouTuber is exhausting, right? And at that time too, my coaching partner left and he moved. So I had to take on major responsibilities as the head coach of over 20 skaters. It was a lot. It was a lot of work, and I was still keeping things together. So now that I needed to create a happy, healthy, holistic lifestyle for myself first before I could share it with the world. So last year I was definitely doing that. I want to thank so many of you guys for sticking around and for supporting my wedding year. I love being able to share more of my life with you guys. It's so fun because I think a lot of people see figure skating coaches in only one way. And that's what you see on Ice Princess, or that's what you see on TV, and you hear about the not so good parts about figure skating coaches. And I know I'm different, and I own it. I used to not. I think I have really, really stepped into so many different chapters of my life, but this one particularly is all about being myself while serving others and helping them along their path and helping them be themselves too, because that's a really hard thing to do in life. Okay, let me read some people's comments. For some reason, I specifically cannot figure out 3 turns, even though I've done them in the past, but I'm more advanced than that, so I'm stuck in pre-freestyle. Do you have any advice or videos about it? I'm pretty sure I do, but that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna do more YouTube lives. So for example, let's say today, I'm heading to the rink after this. Let's say today I do okay, how to do your 3 turns, tips on 3 turns. I could do it on the live, and then I'm gonna leave it on the channel for you guys. So I'm gonna be excited about that. Tips verbally. You want to lean your shoulders inside of the circle when you are doing a forward outside 3 turn. You start with the opposite arm in front, and then you scissor your arms. You lean inside the circle with your shoulders. then you turn. So a lot of the things that people struggle with is not knowing how to utilize their upper body. They're only like, I'm going like this because I'm pretending to tap dance. People tap dance with their feet like, you gotta utilize your upper body to support you, but not like to the extent of doing a washing machine and then you throw your whole entire shoulders into it. It's really engaging your core and stacking your weight. So yeah, I'll do more of those types of videos. Somebody says, I love your videos. I want to learn all my double jumps eventually, but curious how many hours I need to skate to get there, not competing or anything. It's different for everyone. Like, I really, honestly, I know people want a cookie cutter answer. I've seen the whole entire gamut. I've seen people who are so naturally talented. There's a hockey player that does an axel in his whole entire hockey outfit. He did not spend hours and hours and hours practicing that. He probably was like, on this crazy frozen ice, I'm gonna try it out. Right? So for you, what are you doing now to support that dream? Are you doing off-ice training? Are you utilizing all the resources that are out there? Are you creating a plan for yourself that works for your circumstances? So if you have work or you have a job or you have school from 9 to 5, are you waking up early in the morning to go to the rink? Are you doing off-ice training after school? What are you currently doing? If that's not working, then maybe you need to amp it up or maybe you need to pull it back. Obviously, having a routine is very, very important. But everybody has to figure out what works for them. And then, unfortunately, or fortunately, you can't do it alone. So it's fun because then you'll have a community of people. I highly recommend you guys follow Coach Michelle Academy on Instagram, and you'll be able to have more support from me. I'm going to be working on something fun where you guys can work directly with me virtually. So a lot of people are asking about private lessons, but it'll be like a virtual group class, monthly, bi-monthly. So stay tuned. A lot of things are happening in the works. Somebody's asking, any tips on centering your spins? I travel a lot and then I lose balance. So, sorry, it's hard to do the eyebrow and talk at the same time, but I'm trying to get better at it. This is fun. So, centering spins is one of the most sought out thing in skating, but let me tell you, a spin is still a spin even if it travels. Yes, we ideally want to have a centered spin, but I will tell you, I do not have centered spins every single day. Like, when you have a centered spin, you're like, wow, amazing. But there are sometimes I have telephone cords, but the spin is still accomplished, right? So, the main thing to get centered spins is the entrance. You need to control that forward outside edge before you create that hook. Creating that forward outside edge before that hook is super important. And then the second part that people don't really think about is your core and your leg strength. So that's why it's so important for me to emphasize all these off-ice workouts. So I'm gonna do a lot more off-ice videos for you guys. And in the meantime, look at all the videos that I've already posted on YouTube. And then if you want more support, sign up for CMA Stretch Edition. Like spins, you need strength and you need flexibility. You can't just do it by practicing spins all the time. When you have a strong body, when you know exactly how to place your shoulders, when you know how to stack your weight on top of your hip, and your hip is over your knee and your knee is over your toe, it makes for a better spin. But a lot of times, like, people don't even know what to do with their body, and so then that's why their shoulder is hanging outside of their axis. Your axis should be here, and then you're spinning like this, and that's why you're traveling. If you're more like this and you're stacking your weight on top of your skating foot, you're more likely to stay centered. Okay? I've been skating for just over a year and almost have all my singles down, but I don't have a coach and have been using your videos online. Do you have any tips? Love your videos, by the way. Aw, I appreciate it. I love that you guys have been using my videos, especially for those who don't have coaches. But I do recommend you find a coach. Like, I think it's so important to have somebody in person. And like I said, I'm going to provide more ways to support you guys. So you could have me as your online coach, especially for off ice. That's the best way that I could support you guys. I'm going to find so many other ways this year to do so. And I'm going to be so excited to see you guys. Okay, tips on progressing on 1 foot spin and rotate faster. Arm strength. Pull your arms in like this. Engage your core and squeeze tight. It's going to feel really weird and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm spinning so much faster. But you can't go like this. Like, you can't just pull your arm. You actually have to pretend like, you know, when you're using those machines at the gym, there's resistance. That's why resistance training is so good. You're utilizing air resistance when you're doing your spin, right? So you're pushing against that fast speed. So, and engaging your core, all of that, so important. I feel like Pilates off ice, but standing workouts would help, but I can't find them easily. It all lying down. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. So I had to process the comment for a second. Yeah, I like an example of a Pilates standing workout is me doing a high H like this and then snapping my ankle tight. High H and snap. So just know that more will be coming, guys. Get excited. Follow me on Coach Michelle Academy if you guys haven't already. I want to engage with my community more there, and I will provide all these tools and resources. That's my goal. So like, if you guys have skating goals, put them in the comment section. But my goal as a coach is to spread more of my knowledge with you guys and find more ways to support you. So I'm super excited. Okay, hi Coach Michelle. I get really bad mental blocks on jumps and it's hard for me to get my doubles down. Do you have any tips? I have a mental blocks webinar that a lot of you guys attended, but what's super fun and exciting is that I am going to put that resource in CMA. So like, you are going to have access to a lot of this stuff that you're asking for. I'm not fully announcing anything yet. I'm just like giving you guys a little teaser. So it will come. Stuff is in the works. But yeah, all of these things that you want, it's coming. Okay, one more thing and then I have to go. I have to go to the rink. Is it personal preference whether to slightly bend the knee, the skating leg on a spin, or to keep it mostly straight? I feel like it changes based on who I'm watching. It's aesthetics. I think in this sport, you'll notice that not everything is cookie cutter. Ballerinas are cookie cutter. In skating, what I love about it, this is my personal preference, is your own style. That's what's so awesome about skating, and that's honestly what's so awesome about finding a different coach too. There's more freedom. I think ballet is very, very structured, and literally when you look at them line up, you don't know who is who sometimes. But at least with skating, it's like, okay, you see somebody with a more bent knee, or you see somebody with more straight leg. It's a preference. So the preference comes from the coach. Like for me, I'm like, straighten that leg. I want full extension. For some people, the focus on right today is, you know what? keep that knee bent right now because you're still working on centering your spin. Because as soon as people straighten, sometimes they hyperextend and then they go onto their toe. So preference, strategy, all that jazz. Thank you for the spin tips. Yes, thank you. I love all your off ice. I do need to work out my core and flexibility. I bet you that's exactly what I need. Yes, that's exactly what everybody needs. Strength and flexibility. Strength and flexibility. I'm all about that. Strength and flexibility. Remember, check out CMA Stretch Edition. There is a free preview for you guys, so you guys can do the camel spin lesson for free. And there's 3 lessons in that. So check it out. I'm so excited to get more involved in your guys' skating journey, and you guys are the best. Bye.